Hi everyone. I am here to talk about the last topic in our series of brand audits. So today I will be explaining what are the mistakes that we need to avoid while conducting a brand audit. We've been talking about brand audit, what goes into that, what are the benefits of it, who are the stakeholders in a brand audit, but it is very important to avoid these brand audit mistakes so that the outcome of an audit is fruitful. The first and foremost is avoid doing it yourself. Yes, avoid DIY. Why it is important to have an external viewpoint while doing a brand audit is so that we are not getting stuck in the mindset of our brand, our marketing activities, our touch points, or evaluating the internal and external communication, so that it can be analyzed critically. We can bring in the outside viewpoint in terms of external environment as well as the competitions around us, and also it is very important and critical to include expert opinion around your brand. You can bring in the very element of how it is visible to an outsider who is not aware of your brand story, intent or purpose. Therefore, we must avoid doing it all by ourselves and bring in the external viewpoint. The second important factor while doing the brand audit, or the second mistake that one must avoid, is not taking any action on the audit. So a lot of times when I work with the businesses and the founders, it happens that we have very significant outcomes taken around the brand audit. We have very critical inputs, or which are outcomes of uncomfortable discussions around the brand or the business goal setting, which are not taken action on because it is difficult. When we are doing a brand audit, let's say of a business which is into a growth stage or maturity stage, there are a lot of systems and processes which are already set, defined, and an audit comes up with the outcomes where it demands change, and managing change, we all know, is very difficult. So the second and very important mistake that we must avoid is that while doing the audit, whatever inputs we have, whatever critical aspects that an audit unearths, we must take action on it, because if we are not taking an action, we are actually losing out on the very activity of an audit, and we are again getting stagnated with our growth prospects. The third mistake that we must avoid while doing a brand audit is to keep the feedback very selective. Yes, in bigger teams where the brand audit involves C-suite or the different functional heads of a team, a lot of times it is only the selective feedback that sees the light or that is taken action on. Reasons can be more strategic, more functional. Sometimes it is all about a lot is happening on the business side, and people tend to take very selective feedback of the audit, and they limit action which is very comfortable or sets easily into the process. So that is a mistake we must avoid, because we need to keep the very intent of business and brand as the focus. Why we are doing brand audit is to leverage or to elevate the business growth. So we cannot be selective about the insights or the feedbacks received after the brand audit, and we must take the feedback in our stride and have a detailed structure or the defined KRAs around the brand part as per the feedbacks, and we must ensure that the feedback is not accepted selectively. Whatever is in favor of your business, whatever aligns your branding with your business goal, needs to take action, and in a very defined and concrete way. Now, the fourth mistake which I would say that one must avoid, whether you are a founder or a CMO or a business owner who has done the audit and is looking forward to bringing a lot of growth there, is that not setting a structure on the audit action, which is very important. Even when we did an in-house audit for 30th Feb, or when I do brand programs and run audits for bigger organizations which are in the range of 100 to 300 employees or 300 to 500 employees also. Setting a structure for your brand audit action, or like how we call it internally, like an action tracker, is very important. So that is one of the very important aspect here, and avoid one must mistake, that not setting an action tracker. Once you have the audit findings, once you have the insights, once you have cut down on the selective feedback, make sure that you have a team set up on the audit tracker where the KRAs are defined, where everybody knows what will be the structure. If you are doing the audit feedback into phases, do it into phases, set up the structure, and then review it at regular intervals. It can be weekly, it can be monthly. That's as per your audit findings and the action items for your business growth. But you must avoid a mistake of not setting a structure. So set the structure, get started, and you will see that your audit findings or your audit, how it becomes a magical step in your brand growth journey. I'll be back with more videos in the coming weeks. Thank you.